Oscar.
Go ahead, Sarge.
Can you give us an update, Steve?
Is this him, Mr. Little? Is this him?
No joy at the moment.
Hold on. What's happened? He's fainted. Any luck? Yeah. Could you get me some water, please? The dead man, Sarge. It is Little, son.
So we get
I've
here...
made a thorough assessment.
Yeah, but we get here and CID have moved the body.
Where?
Well, what, sir?
Where was the body?
Morning, sir.
Morning, Derek. Oh, Jack Meadows. Has he arrived yet?
Well, he was with the DAC, sir, but there's a body at the Jasmine Allen, and he went straight there.
Right.
Starters, you mean to go on, eh?
He locked himself in before the door was broken down. The front door was damaged as well. Somebody forced an entrance and there was a struggle.
So someone must have heard something.
Well, I've organised a house-to-house, sir.
When?
The divisional surgeon rang about midnight last night.
What killed him?
We don't know yet. He was an addict. We found some sharps in the kitchen, so it's a possible overdose. But we also found extensive bruising to the neck and face. We need the postmortem to establish a cause of death.
Be nice to have seen him, wouldn't it, Jack? Who found him?
The postman, sir. He had a final demand. They're taking a statement down the station.
We got his name from this.
Anthony Liddell.
We're running it past our collator.
What's the Reesmere Centre?
Education centre, sir, for ex-offenders.
17. No age to die, is it?
Then get on to the coroner's office.
No! I've got a description. A woman reckons there was a bloke there last night.
What did he look like?
I see one mid-40s, heavy build.
And he was banging on the door.
That's what she says.
Have you got anything?
Nothing.
Well, look again. I want to know who was in this flat.
Got a partial set of prints from the frame. Maybe some from the door.
Whoever broke it down.
Could be.
Right, get him lifted and we'll submit them.
DC Perry,
DC Leighton.
drug squad. We've got him under casual observation.
You did have. He was found dead this morning, 9 o'clock.
That the father, Gov?
Yeah, get him to CID, get a statement, and get this to the incident room. It's a description of the bloke who was seen outside the flat last night.
Yes, sir.
This witness was certain this...
Mr. Little?
Big bloke in his 40s. She saw him break down the door, apparently.
Anthony Little, sir.
Thanks. Burglary, theft, trafficking, possession. Well, there's a one-man crime wave.
I came across the father as well, sir.
He's got form.
Got shot in an armed robbery 8 years ago.
Incident room. This way. Drug squad.
We are honoured.
The dead man was dealing, sir.
Dealing what?
Cocaine. Just local, nothing big. We're targeting dealers on that estate, about a dozen names. We've had Little under casual ops for about a month now.
But you weren't there last night.
Due back early this morning, sir.
Oh, really? What happened?
Another job, sir.
And you've no reason to suppose there was anyone with him last night?
No, not really, sir. Like I said, we've been on him since he came out of prison, and he wasn't dealing from the flat, sir.
And none of his known associates fit that description?
No, sir.
Did anyone want him dead? Another dealer, maybe?
He wasn't worth a sweat, sir.
All right. I want a list of names, contacts, known associates, everyone you can think of, particularly anyone fitting that description.
Well, I'll have to speak to my governor, sir.
Fair enough. I'm going to get on with the father. Till we firmly establish the cause of death, I'm going to treat him as a suspect. You get over there? Carl. Coroner's office. Yeah, hang on to them. Find out anything they know about Anthony Little. Going to try and get the post-mortem brought forward. Yep.
How did he die?
We've been unable to establish a cause of death, Mr. Little. But we think it might have been an overdose. There'll be a post-mortem.
He's not the new DCI, is he?
Corruption. Him and...
Oi!
What's your name?
Steve Loxton, sir.
You got a problem, Steve?
No, sir.
Well, you will have, if I ever hear you use that word again. Is that understood?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
When I got to the flat, he wouldn't let me in. He wouldn't talk to me.
Let me stop you there.
He was a drug addict. I wanted to try and stop him, try and get him some help. He wouldn't talk to me.
Mr. Little.
He wouldn't let me in.
I want you to
So I broke the front door down!
I've got the post-mortem set up for dinner time. What about known associates?
Just one name, sir. He was under observation last night, housed with his girlfriend.
He was there, sir. The father. He reckons he lost his temper and broke down the front door. He's with the custody sergeant.
Not even 1 o'clock. Got to be a record.
So who's this McCready? Local hero, sir. Oh, yeah?
Stabbed some bloke with a carving knife, served 5 years for manslaughter, then opened this place. Completely reformed. Spends his time rehabilitating offenders.
Nice.
At school, I was going to... Don't forget your full stop there. It is a pity she is not at school. Full stop. I was going to give her a...
Excuse me.
Can I help?
Choice. Think about it. Choice, choices, making choices. If you're going to take control of your life, you have to be able to make choices. It's a fundamental question.
Alan?
Without...
Mr. McCready.
Yeah.
DCI Meadows. This is DS Gregg. Could I have a few words, please?
You understand that you're still under caution, Mr. Little?
Yes.
This is Detective Superintendent Douglas. He wants to talk to you about Anthony.
What time did you leave the flat, Mr. Little?
About 11:45, midnight, I don't know.
Around midnight.
No, 1:45.
Not later?
No, it was... I didn't mean to hit him.
You want to tell me what happened?
I can't believe it.
When did you last see the father?
Day before yesterday.
And you say he works here?
Yeah. John Little's a tutor. He runs a life skill course. He served courses in prison and was referred to as by his probation officer. All the tutors here are ex-offenders, Mr. Meadows. They say they get a lot out of being here, and he wanted to put something back.
What was his son doing here?
Working with his father. John was helping Anthony to sort himself out. He wanted him to move back home with him. I just can't believe John's involved in this.
I'd found out about the drugs he was taking. I was there to talk, to listen. He threw me out. I've got myself... I'm all right now. I can walk away from situations I can't handle. There's no point in violence.
You said you broke the door down.
I broke into the flat. Anthony came at me. Not much bigger than here. It was like hitting a skeleton.
You made the choice in the first place before you were put inside to commit the crime.
So when was the last time you saw Anthony?
Well, I caught him with the cash still about 10 days ago. After that, he stopped taking his appointments.
And he'd been here for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
So you didn't know him that well?
Obviously not.
He was an addict.
We were just referring him to one of the agencies. He was just coming here to work with his dad. Do some English.
Till you caught him nicking the cash box.
Yeah. He was thieving to support his drug use. You need drugs, you don't have money, you're likely to steal. Act violently, commit crime.
Get caught.
Then get sentenced, then get released, then commit crime again and end up back in the system.
Or dead. You're saying that was happening to him?
I think he was trying to break the cycle. Exercise some control. Learn something. Look, I had to reprimand John. He had a disagreement with one of the other clients. It was nothing to do with Anthony. He hit a lad called Poulter. I had to suspend him the day before yesterday.
What was it about?
Absolutely no idea. John was still coming to terms with his own problems. He found it difficult to cope with stress. He loses his temper.
So you're saying he was under stress?
Well, it's all about relationships, isn't it? You go inside, relationships change. The outside world moves on while you're serving your sentence. John had been living at home with Anthony's mother in between spells in custody. When Anthony went inside as well, his mother walked out, left the both of them. Anthony couldn't cope and blamed John. They became estranged.
But Anthony still came here?
John asked him to. Anthony was all John had left. Rebuilding that part of his life was very important to him. I just can't believe it.
Why didn't you tell us this sooner?
There's no need for all this. I've nothing more to say. I killed him, didn't I?
He's just done 8 years for an armed robbery. You've got to be joking.
And in that case,
With respect, sir.
Got a string of convictions.
It's over 9.5 years since his last offence, and if you look at what he's been doing since
Don't
then...
give me that. He spent most of his life in prison.
Well, apparently he's made a concerted effort to reform himself, bring his family together.
Well, in case you hadn't noticed, Jack, he's coughed to it. As far as I'm concerned, we're just waiting for the post-mortem to confirm the cause of death.
That's what I'm saying, sir. It could prove us all wrong.
Well, perhaps you better talk to him, Detective Chief Inspector. Once a villain, always a villain. That's what I say.
With all due respect, sir, I think you made a serious error of judgment there. That coffee's diabolical.
What about the prints that Socko lifted from the door frame?
They match little, sir.
Well, it doesn't mean it beat his son to death, does it? Thanks for the warning.
Sir, can I say something? I know I've only been acting DCI, but if there's anything I can do...
Thanks. Is the DCI's office clear?
Well, it's all in boxes, sir.
Well, if you could clear all your stuff out by the end of the day, that'd be great. Could I have a word, Mr. Little? So how many times have you been to your son's before last night?
10, 11 times.
And what happened to make you attack your son, Mr. Little?
You hit me. At the centre, they taught me how to control my aggression. If you get angry in situations you can't change, it makes things worse. I'm all right now. I can be trusted. I'm working there as a tutor.
I know.
I work with all kinds of people. People who need help, people who can't cope. Unemployed, homeless, drug addicts, alcohol, serious offences, sex offences, violent criminals like I was. And I've never lost control with any of them.
You hit Michael Poulter.
I didn't intend to hit him. I didn't intend to hit anybody. I couldn't stop. I didn't mean it. I'm not like that. I'm not a violent man.
What?
Sorry, sir. Can I have a word? The results of the postmortem have come through.
And?
Was it drugs?
Cocaine overdose. Death due to cardiac failure.
Should never have looked him up.
The prison didn't make him an addict, Mr. Little. He had the habit before he went in.
I know that your tolerance to drugs decreases while you're in custody. You come out, take your usual amount, you probably overdose, you kill yourself.
No, he didn't take his usual amount. He took a massive amount in a hurry. We're working on the theory that someone was trying to rob him. So, if you think of anyone.
The stomach contained 11 separate packages of cocaine, most of which had burst. Cause of death, cardiac arrhythmia. Lividity of the corpse puts the time of death between 1 and 2 a.m.
Well after the father had left.
And the drug squad is sure that he didn't know he was under surveillance.
Positive.
Incident room.
Someone arrives,
DCI
enters the
Meadows
flat,
speaking.
and breaks into the bedroom.
Yes, sir. Can I help?
And Anthony swallows a lethal amount of cocaine because he thinks that's the only way he
You
can
won't
keep
speak to
it.
anybody else? Okay, sir. Gov, he'll only speak to you. It's somebody called McCready.
Michael Poulter, the lad John Littlehead.
After the argument here.
He's dealing.
No, wait. He told you this?
Didn't admit it himself. One of the other clients told me. He was getting the stuff from Anthony, and when John found out...
He took Poulter to one side to try and persuade him.
Apparently he was ripping Anthony off. Poulter went to the flat last night.
Sierra Oscar.
Where is he?
Look, John. John!
Sierra Oscar from Greg. Urgent assistance required at the Reedsmuir Centre. John Little is here and he's armed.
Where's Poulter? Where is he?
Everybody out. Everybody except the centre coordinator, Michael Poulter and Mr. Meadows, sir.
I told you. I told you to keep away from him.
I needed the money.
So you thought you'd rob him? You scumbag!
How was I to know he'd swallowed the stuff? The state you left him in, it's a wonder he was still breathing.
Michael!
This may not be the right time to say this, Alan, but as a tutor, he leaves a lot to be desired. I'm sorry, but I can't even listen to you when you've got a gun in your hand. I used to have to sit there, you droning on about life, about prison, what it did to you, all this crap. Respect, self-control. Brilliant demonstration, this, isn't it? It's no wonder you spent most of your life in prison.
Put it down.
John!
I only tried to rob him. You beat him to a pulp. It's no wonder he didn't want to know you. Britain's most wanted man. You were joking, weren't you? Well, go on then. Do it.
Michael Poulter. He was in the flat last night.
Little knew about it.
No.
He'd found out Poulter was dealing cocaine from here.
Poulter was stealing cocaine from Little's son. Little warned him off. Then he went round to Anthony's flat last night to talk to him. He lost his temper. Poulter turned up at the flat an hour after the father had left.
Want to rip off more cocaine?
Only Anthony had swallowed it first.
So how come Little found out?
I told him we were looking for a robbery suspect. He went after Poulter. Right. I'd like to establish a few ground rules so we all know where we stand. I don't want my officers walking around as if they've just fallen out of bed. So, if you're interviewing a suspect, you wear your jackets. If you're outside the station, and that includes the front office, you wear your jackets. Shirt sleeves will only be worn in here, or if you're not dealing with the general public. Ties will be worn done up properly at all times.
Jack?
Sir?
Welcome to Sun Hill.
Thank you, sir.
I've spoken to Detective Superintendent Douglas. He seems less than happy with your active involvement in today's investigation.
Yeah, I know, sir. I've already talked to him.
Well, I've decided to disregard his comments. I think Sun Hill CID will respond well to the challenge of strong supervision. I expect you to exert a strong influence. Exercise your authority. You'll have my full support.
Thank you, sir.
And you can rest assured that whatever happened in your last post won't be held against you here. I'm interested in what you can do in the future, not what happened in the past.
A clean slate.
Well, something like that. Any problems? My door's always open.
Sir. You haven't got a key for this one, have you?